Right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the show. We are once again getting ready for the winter in our gardens. Stay tuned. All right, YouTube, here we are once again in the jungle, wrapping it up. You're just like, hey, why are you wrapping it up? Everything's green and looking good. It's because this weekend temperatures are going to be down to about right at 32. So we got to get this done, put things put away as best we can, and animals love this time because they get overflowing in the treats they get. So tomatoes are one of the biggest things to get on point because they are going to get hit with the frost the hardest. So we got them picking over there. We're picking up the ripe ones first, getting them sorted. Tons. We're going to have to pull out these green ones the next couple days. So I'm just getting this video in while I can, and knowing that this is going to be I just don't know where we're going to put it all. I still had a squash left out. I found a what do you call it? Zucchini hiding underneath, this huge zucchini. I already took it inside earlier, but I found a huge zucchini hiding underneath. It's the middle of October. April, August, what is today? It's October. Huge zucchini. Tomatoes are just crazy. We gotta, so talking about the pepper plants, wintering over peppers. Mosaic Homestead had mentioned that, and Dad on YouTube was doing that. So I'm going to try to winter over one jalapeno, one Anaheim, and one bell pepper. I'm not going to try to save these minis just because I don't know them as well. But I think I'm going to grab that bell pepper plant. Whoa, where are we at? That pepper plant. Yeah, that one right there. And I don't know, I might take this one too. I got this planter here. Maybe this pepper plant. Let's see. This Anaheim pepper plant, this one right here, and this jalapeno plant. One of these two. Or go. Watermelon are coming out. I still got good watermelon. The last watermelon I pulled was still sweet. Usually they're just not that sweet this time of year. So I'm happy with that. It's always good. I already pulled some peppers and found this guy. That's not a turnip. That's not a beet. That's a radish. Found him hiding out in the shadows over there. Must have missed him last week. Huge guy. Still got sweet potatoes. I need to, once I get these tomatoes out, I'll be looking at the sweet potatoes. The sweet potato plants are starting to come into focus here a little bit as I'm pulling stuff out. And these cottonwoods I'm going to pull up, as we've talked about. So these guys are going to another location for next year. And our asparagus, I got the shavings ready. So I guess tomorrow or Saturday or whatever, I'll cut them to the ground. Or do I just go ahead and wait for it to freeze before I cut them down? I think I need to cut them before it gets cold. Cut them down. I'm going to put the shavings on them, and I'm going to put weed cloth over it. And then I'm going to put this old tractor over them to just in case any rabbits want to visit or something. And I have one artichoke plant that held on there. It just didn't produce any fruit this year, so this guy's got to get wintered over. So got to get that. And we're cooking with gas, folks. It has been a great harvest this year. Not gonna bemoan any of the efforts despite the struggles with the carrots and other things. It's been really good. Lots of food. I probably ate a pound of food just standing in the garden every week, and then I estimate probably produced over 200 pounds that for human consumption, and then more for animal consumption. Not counting the watermelons and not counting the squash and big pumpkins that we got. They're going to come in later. But all the tomatoes, all the peppers, corn. What else have we got? Radish. Got some turnips. Radish, turnip. Didn't have any beets. The beets didn't come up. But yeah, well, the squash, the summer squash and the artichokes, or not artichokes, summer squash and zucchini. Awesome. Tons of pounds of veggies. And so we still got our winter squash and our great pumpkin over here that probably going to cover this guy up. He is not quite off on the top there, so we're going to hold off on him before we cut him loose, maybe in a week or two. Well, before the 31st, because you've got to have a decoration, right? So maybe next week, but we'll cover them up for that cold. You can see these guys, their vines are getting where we can cut them loose, planting them this weekend. All the winter squash pull in, so a ton of that to pull in. It's funny how these guys died off so early despite not having cold weather, while the summer squash was still producing. I don't understand why these guys maybe it was just kind of the time frame we planted them so early. I don't know. And some of them, the very fringes, have not developed, so these guys are going to go fast. Those guys aren't going to be wintered over. And what's this guy over here hanging out? Check this out. Over here on the fringes of the jungle, this watermelon over here hiding out. A watermelon plant. So there's a watermelon seed in here somewhere amongst the thickets and the thorns on the edge of the jungle. Somehow grew. Yeah, we got a small watermelon over there. That kind of surprised me. Well, it really surprised me. But just hiding out over here on his own, out in the wild, unafraid. So we'll get that to the animals once we get them loose in here. And I still haven't dug up any potatoes, so I've got to go and cutting off the water and getting them, see what we're going to do with them. Get through this first issue this weekend with everything else coming in, and then we'll look at the potatoes. It's sweet potatoes. Got all the sunflower heads off. Lots of sunflowers, so we have sunflowers. The sunflower seeds I was planting were from like 2018, and so we have a fresh batch to cycle through for the future on that deal. So that's what's going on here. Garden wrap up 2025. Hope everybody else had some successes. Go check out Mosaic Homestead through the winter as he lives through his tropical jungle and he's able to produce throughout the winter. So he'll be the only guy planting and harvesting through the winter for the most part. But we'll see how harvesting these or cutting back these peppers and trying to hold them over for the winter, how that works out for us. I guess I'll still have to water them a little bit. I can't keep them in a totally dark room, right? So I have to give them a little bit of light. So that's going to be an interesting project to see how we can carry the pepper plants over year to year. New efforts, new attempts at sustainability instead of burning through all our seeds. Although we do have quite a few packets of seeds remaining. Might try to hold over that cayenne pepper plant. So what Dad was saying is he's cut them down to like the last 4 inches and pot them. And so we'll do that, something like that. See how it goes. Tons of tomatoes still got to pull in. That's going to be the hard part. Is the tomatoes. The chickens and everybody are getting plenty of tomato leftovers, and those that got somewhat chewed up or otherwise not harvested in time, and whatever this case may be. And but we still gotta pill all these, and it's gonna be a long weekend, folks. Peppers, these watermelon, I don't believe are just go to the pigs. Like I said, the last watermelon I pulled last week was still good. 1st of October watermelon is not exactly normal. Oh, here's our, yeah, that's our sunflower seeds we talked about. And there's our summer squash left over. Good stuff. So, I don't know, hundreds of pounds of produce came out and still some remaining. It's like, what else do you want? Like, folks, like, this is not a huge area. And not a lot of water goes into this. We're using all the irrigation lines, and still getting good results overall. So this is, it's not even 50 by 50. You know, definitely not a half acre, not a quarter acre, less than a quarter acre. You can get a ton of food, literally a ton of food, probably. Well, if you weighed every squash and winter squash and everything else. So that'll be your motivation for the winter to plan your garden. And as soon as we get this stuff out, obviously we're winning over the asparagus, winning over the artichoke, trying to get these pepper plants winter. They're already planning for next year. So that's the cycle, right? That's the cycle. So be advised, YouTube, the time is now. Get ready. I don't know that the food is gonna. We'll see how this winter food supply goes this winter. Going into spring could get sketchy. So prepare accordingly. Talk to you later, YouTube. Prep hard. Live free.